Guys, my name is Maggie, and for my analysis, I chose to use Netflix. Um, I'm sure everyone knows exactly what Netflix is, and everyone here probably either has a subscription or they use somebody else's. Um, Netflix is a subscription-based streaming service, and it was founded in 1997 by two men. Their names were Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. They founded it in California, which is where their headquarters are today in Los Gatos, California. Um, Reed founded Netflix after he was hit with a Blockbuster video late fee, and he was not too happy about that, so he wanted to come up with a way to get rid of these late fees. So Blockbuster Video was the predecessor to Netflix, and they are no longer in business. So the reason for that its development was to create a service with no late fees, and Netflix today has about 158 million subscribers. If you are familiar with Netflix, you know this is probably no surprise because it's widely popular and they have so many choices and a ton of content that just continuously changes, and they take stuff away, they put new stuff in, so it doesn't get boring. And there are so many options that there really is something for everybody, and no matter what you're into or what you like, you can find something. So you can choose between TV shows, movies, documentaries, pretty much you name it, it's there. They've even got Netflix original series now, so Netflix comes up with their own TV series and movies that they produce, and this has gained a ton of popularity recently. A basic subscription today is about $12 per month, and Netflix has changed pretty dramatically since its start way back when, and I'll go through a little bit of its historical progression. So, what is Netflix? It's pretty much just what I went over. No more late fees. It's a streaming service application, and this just gives you kind of a picture of what is. They can categorize it by like what's trending. You can watch it again. They will recommend things for you, and it's just laid out very nicely. Now, historical changes. So, Blockbuster was the reason that Netflix development started, and Blockbuster was also hugely popular during its own time. They had locations all over, and you would browse the store's selection of movies and DVDs, and then you paid to take these DVDs or even VHS tapes home, and then you had a few days to bring it back. Once Netflix started, they released a subscription service that allowed you to rent unlimited DVDs for just one monthly cost and no late fees. So, subscription based just basically means that you're paying monthly and you can use whatever services as much as you'd like in that given time frame. So, you would have a queue online when you go online to Netflix. DVDs used to be sent in the mail or VHS through Netflix, and so they would mail you the next choice on your list, and then you could watch it and then mail it back, and once you mailed it back, you got the next one. In 2000, Netflix launched a personal recommendation system, and they used a members rating systems to recommend and kind of track what you like or what they think you would like. So that kind of expanded its popularity as well. Now, they really expanded in 2007 when they introduced streaming services on the personal computer. So now you could just watch it on the personal computer and you didn't need to only use the mail delivery system. So they slowly expanded to more and more countries, and in 2016, Netflix was available worldwide. During all of this, VHS videos pretty much became ancient, and streaming and DVDs took over, mostly the streaming aspect because it was just more convenient. Blockbuster Video closed its doors in 2013 due to all the competition that Netflix brought, and they eventually went bankrupt. The design of Netflix has also gone through quite a transformation in its time, and you used to pick online, get it mailed to you, and now you simply just download an app, and it's super easy, it's super nice. You download the app and you have it right at the touch of your fingers. And today, actually, most smart TVs that you buy will already come with Netflix on it. So, for example, like a Roku TV, you have the Netflix application already on your TV. So you just log in one time and then you're pretty much good to go from there. So, like I said, also it's conveniently laid out and organized and categorized to what you like, and that kind of draws people in too because they like that. Now, competition has struck up in these last years with other streaming services such as like Hulu, Sling, Amazon Prime Video. There's so many more, but there is a lot of competition in that field. Now, what is disruptive technology? So, Netflix was created and designed to change the way that we used entertainment TV services, and it seems like they succeeded in doing so because of its huge popularity, and Netflix is such a common household name. In the 20 years that Netflix has existed, it's caused a great deal of disruption. So, based on our discussions from class and the course readings, disruptive technology is kind of when you see cultural changes and shifts in societies and habits. It's when newer and cheaper products become available to a larger mass of people that it kind of can take over the markets. And disruptive technologies cause a change as well in human interaction, so they totally shift cultural habits, and it forces us to reshape aspects of our life like communication, education, which we definitely see education aspects of Netflix. Teachers use Netflix videos. There's a lot of informational shows on there, and so they'll use it for instruction purposes and education. So we definitely see Netflix coming into the classrooms more and more, and as well as like our economy. So this can definitely be a good thing. For Netflix, the disruption came with some major ramifications, and it allowed for a more convenient and easier way of doing something that we were already doing, which was Blockbuster. So this just took away a lot of time that we can now, use as picking shows and watching them instead of driving to Blockbuster. So it just made our system of what we were already doing much easier. So that is what disruptive technology is, and a little bit of how it coincides with Netflix. So Netflix has taken something that's part of our culture and our daily routine, and it's redesigned it. This is a disruption in itself, and in class we talked about Marshall McLuhan, who wrote "The Medium is the Message," and McLuhan believed that it is the medium that shapes and controls the scale and form of human interaction and association. The environment to which Netflix was introduced was the actual culture of renting and watching movies and the internet that allowed the streaming to become possible. The technology was any device that had the capability to carry Netflix. So all the updates and upgrades Netflix went through disrupted and redesigned culture. Blockbuster going out of business was an economic consequence of Netflix changes that made it possible for more and more people to acquire a subscription. You used to have to wait for the disc, so when you had the CD come in the mail, sometimes it would be scratched or damaged, and You couldn't guarantee that it was going to work because it went through so many people before coming to you. So it also used to take some time to get the next movie back. You'd have to watch the movie, mail it back, and once they got it mailed back, they'd send you your next one. So this um, has changed because now it's just the click of a button. We log on and we're done. That's pretty much all you need to do. So you can have the luxury of watching in your own home or really anywhere you choose. This has changed human culture so much and the way that we live our daily lives. There's a huge convenience factor to Netflix. Even memes exist, like I included some here. Netflix and chill is a big idea that everybody knows. It's all over social media and you see it constantly. So it's totally intertwined in our lives, and that we're seeing it all over our social media and people are talking about it. Um, Another thing, um, changes and shapes. So the Netflix and chill memes shape society. Um, you also don't need a car anymore to go get a movie. There's so many options right there that you're not driving to Blockbuster and choosing and then coming back home. So you have more time to do that. Now, people can kind of feel like they belong to a community because, like I said earlier, there are just so many options for everybody. An example of this is Orange is the New Black is one of Netflix's original series, and they have a huge fan base. Were actresses that kind of became a household name from Orange is the New Black, so changed their lives, it's changed people's lives, and so it can kind of follow or pull along a community of practice because you kind of feel like you belong somewhere, which is great. Um, Netflix went from 20 million subscribers in 2011 to over 100 million today, which is insane. They're available in 190 countries, and ramifications for others in society. It's pretty much been a great thing, and like you just can see that it's spread to 190 countries because it's obviously such an integral part of everybody's lives. Netflix users actually spend 1 billion hours watching movies weekly, and 23% of all US adults stream Netflix daily. Today there's over 130 million subscribers, and I think these kind of speak for themselves to show just how big a part of Netflix is in people's lives and just how it controls what they're doing. I chose Netflix. I thought it was pretty appropriate for this exercise because I'm definitely another daily user of the application, and I have memories from a long time ago picking out the movies that my sister and I would argue about what movie we're getting next, and then sometimes you would have to spray the back with Windex and scrub it so that it wouldn't scratch or skip. And I've just been fascinated with the changes and how big Netflix has remained. A lot of times, other things will come in like Hulu, and Hulu is a big name also, but Netflix has pretty much stayed a top contender. And so I really love Netflix. It's a part of my life. I use it every day. So I thought, why not analyze a little bit more in depth about it? Netflix has already transformed the entertainment industry so much, it's kind of hard to imagine what more it could be capable of. But in class, we kind of discussed like robots and automation, and there is talk of Netflix coming out with interactive content, and so you can be able to pick and choose the storyline based, like you pick a character and then it leads to a different story. I think that they also will have a lot of original shows and movies continuously coming out because Netflix spends about 70% of all of its revenue on content, and last year alone they spent 15 billion. So there's definitely a lot of money going into that industry, and the future looks pretty bright for Netflix. And this is just a little look at that interactive content and all